So I knew this reunion was going to be so much better than the last couple of episodes of the season. The season started off really strong, but I knew this reunion was going to give us everything we needed. And thank God it's only 2. To be honest with you, why can't Andy just make them 2 hours on the same night? We don't need to keep on coming back. I know it's to pay more I know it's to get more money from advertisers, but I just don't think you guys are getting the same amount of ratings, because I know for me, especially when they do the 3-part, I drop out. The first episode, you got me. The first reunion episode, you got me. The second, I'm going to try to make it. The third, absolutely not. That's too much. You can give us a 2-hour, reunion special and we'll be good. We'll stay for it. We'll come back. We'll comment. Do it at 8, wrap it up at 10. Like, that will be dope. That's what this show needs. These 2 and 3 parts, it's not worth it. There's not that much information. If you want us to stick around for that long, then you better give us a season where we're just like, oh my goodness, we have to be here for everything. A lot of times it's just a bunch of fluff, and then you wait to the last episode to give us all the drama. But this reunion part 1 gave us some good stuff. They really, really did. It just solidified how awful those Creole demons are. That Creole clique of demonic vessels, they are awful. Let's talk about it. Woo! So Karen lost her mother and father in the same year and still showed up to do this reunion. God bless her, because it wouldn't have been me. It wouldn't have been me. And you could tell that she was like trying to get through it until the end, where she was just like, I can't. And it's understandable. Like, I totally get it. But are they paying them that much for these reunions? Because it would have been best for her to miss this one. Because I just feel like she was still so raw. And then to have these women be awful to each other and awful to her, which is encouraged on these reunion shows, I just don't think she was in the space to receive it and not just be like, it's a part of the show. It was hitting her because she was so raw and open, you know what I mean? So I kind of wish she would have stayed home. But listen, while people do things, I can't judge her for that, because I remember when I lost my grandmother, my grandmother. I'm telling y'all, I don't know. I lost my grandmother in 2007. 2007 to 2010 is a blur. I don't know. I was out of my mind. Listen, when that woman left this earth, my mind went with her. I was like shocked, because she was just very young and I never saw it coming. And so I went through it, and I don't even really remember. I just know I cried and cried and cried till my eyes were like red and rough. The skin around my eyes was like so sensitive. It was insane. So I can't fault her for still showing up, and I don't think anybody would fault her, but I would have wanted her to stay home, but I'm clear-headed right now. Karen's not, and they're about to start filming again, because they normally film around the fall through summer. So they're going to have like a little break. I think maybe after Christmas is when they'll pick it up, because I know that Real Housewives of New York is filming right now, because they normally start, their show is normally in the fall. The Real Housewives of Potomac is winter, summer, I think, right? Oh no, fall. No, spring, summer, like coming out of winter, spring, summer. So I know they're going to have a little break, but I don't think that that's enough of a break for her, because I think they get about 4 or so months off, 4 or 5 months off, depending on where their show airs, and then they pick it back up. But I don't know if she's ready to film again. I don't think she's going to be ready to film for a very long time, but this is her job, so she showed up for it. God bless you, Karen. I'm sorry that you were treated like this on the reunion, because the lady should have I think they should have took it easy on her. Even if you have issues, I honestly get it. Her father died Thursday, and did her father die? Her father died Thursday, and she was at the reunion like, what, three days later or something like that? Like, y'all could have just been like, you know what? We got beef. Let's talk about it at another time. Something, but they laid into her. But baby, she got right back with them, because I caught that shade, Miss Grandam. Robyn, you look good as a man. Karen, she was ready. She going through something, but Karen stayed ready. Because listen, Robyn and Ashley trying to defend this whole wig thing, I loved Karen's reaction. I even talked about it in my review. I love that she reacted to it that way because they did that wanting her to have another reaction. Because even Robyn was saying we were really scared. Like, I was scared we were going through her stuff and I didn't know how she would react. Even Ashley was like, I didn't know how she would react. And why would you do it? If you were saying that you were doing this so you could have a good laugh, you should have known. You should have known that it would have been funny and y'all would have had a good time. And even Ashley was trying to say that she was faking it. And I'm like, Ashley, get off of Karen. Like, just give her a moment. Ashley just doesn't stop being awful. And I get that you really need this money and you're trying to secure your own bag, and we support you, honey. You don't have to get it by being awful, because awful is so easily replaced. It really, really is. Like, you may get ratings on the show. You may have a little rabid fan base if you're awful on these reality TV shows. But it's the sweethearts. It's the sweethearts that get them deals. It's the sweethearts that we want to buy stuff from. We're not buying something from anybody who has an evil soul. Like, I'm not going to take no yoga class from somebody who has been just destructive her entire time on TV. Like, why would I go to a Zen spiritual place with you that's helping cleanse my mind, body, and soul, and knowing that you've been on TV just tearing down women unprovoked? I don't got no problem with these broads clapping back at any broad that comes at them, but Ashley just does stuff for no reason. Like what Candice said, you keep your face. You keep your nose, face, and forehead, because that was a read on that girl's forehead in everybody's business. And she does. For no reason, just to stir stuff up. Just to stir stuff up. And I get that's a character on the show, but honey, you got to give us balance. You got to give us balance, because the tides is turning on you, ma. The tides is turning. The messiest housewife of them all. Oh, really? I've never heard of Miss United States. You get noticed often? Andy is so shady. And they can't say nothing because he's signing a check. So they just got to sit there and take his reads. But let me tell you something, Candice. He was coming for you, girl. Coming. Because, listen, I think that Candice gets noticed at her local airport. I don't think she gets noticed around the world. Like, she might have been at Vegas one time and some pageant people noticed her. But sis, to make it seem like you get noticed at every airport that you're at, you should have known that you were going to get a drag for that. You should have expected it. And I wish you would have just been like, well, I was just talking something. But to take a stance on that and die on that hill and then start adding other airports, LAX, ATL, absolutely not, girl. Absolutely not. But Giselle this entire time kept on saying, well, I'm her friend and I'm trying to be a friend to Karen. No, you were not. No, you knew her parent. You knew that her father, I think her mother had already passed. Her father was dying, I think. One of her parents was dying. Giselle knew that. And even Karen, she knew before everybody. Like, Giselle knew that, and she still dragged that woman for filth the entire season. And she doesn't let up, because even when she's saying, oh yeah, I was just trying to be her friend, and we're friends, so I don't know what's going on with our friendship. This is what's going on with your friendship, Giselle. When Andy is talking about Monique and the DUI and Ashley making those comments, which was absolutely wrong. Ashley never owned it. And then to come up with this, oh, I had drank just as much, but I stayed in the parking lot and sobered up. I agree with Monique. You never brought that up. You would have said that had that been the case, and you never brought that up, because I questioned that as well. I said, if y'all all drinking, why are y'all driving? That's the problem with production, in my opinion, because they want them to get liquored up so they can have these reactions, but don't allow them to get liquored up and then not, escort them to where they need to be. And I understand the ladies did leave set and have drinks or whatever, but during the time that they are filming, they are your responsibility, production, and you need to know where your talent is at all times, because they are contracted to this company and to the network for a certain amount of months. So their stories are very important. So to know that they were going to be drinking and driving, I don't know, I feel like it's not to know, but y'all knew that they were leaving and going to get some drinks after. So they probably were already drinking before then. So production, in my opinion, should have made sure they got home. Anyway, I just wasn't buying Ashley, trying to backtrack and be like, oh, I sobered up in the car. You were doing the same thing, but you were being messy, Ashley. You were being messy. Just admit it. You were being Ashley, but trying to come at Monique in the drinking, and it got out of hand, and you didn't know how to backtrack it, because then you're going to make the excuse of, oh, well, everybody was seeing your behavior and what you were doing, and nah, nobody called Monique an alcoholic until you did, Ashley. own it. But you never will. Anyway, in that whole debate about Monique being an alcoholic and actually like basically putting that out there on the show, Karen makes a comment, and here comes Giselle, Karen's good friend, who was trying to be a friend to her the whole season. Well, I don't think that she wants to comment because she has a DUI. What is wrong with you? Nobody mentioned it. Nobody said, to be quite honest with you, a lot of people forgot it. I forgot about it too until Giselle brought it up. And it's just like, you keep telling people that you're trying to be a friend to her. You're horrible. Giselle is just horrible because it's always unprovoked. Like, nobody is ever coming for her, and she stays saying nasty comments about people. And I get that it's good TV. You need somebody to be a villain. You need somebody to stir the pot. But it's just like, we opened up, but you keep on saying you're trying to be this woman's friend. And when she makes a comment, you bring up her DUI. It just doesn't correlate to me, the friendship. Like, I don't get you trying to be a friend to her. You were trying to tear her down the entire season when she was at her weakest, which is my problem with Giselle. Like, she laid in on Karen. One of Karen's parents is dying, and then she's going through this whole text thing with her husband, and Giselle wouldn't let up. Horrible. Horrible. And even when Karen tries to defend herself, she can't say anything because Slim Tamala Man. Robyn looks like a slimmer version of Tamala Man. This haircut, sis, no. All I get is Tamala Man. Take me to the king. That's what I'm getting. Every time I look at it, I'm like, Tamala Man is doing good on this diet. Work, sis. Anyway, Robyn is defending her at all costs. Nobody can say anything. Like, Giselle doesn't have to say it. She's sitting. I wish Robyn would watch this. Anybody who loves Robyn, please watch this reunion and then go back to your friend, to Robyn, your family member, whoever. Juan, let her know that she looks like a nut. Because Robyn is just going off. Like, anybody who comes at Giselle, she just attacks him. And Giselle just sits back like a boss and doesn't have to do anything. Because Robyn is like, sir, calm down. And then we get this backstory on Chris and Candice and the whole princess comment. Remember when we were all feeling bad for Chris? Because, you know what, Candice, do what you're going to do. Because she even said it. I'm not married yet. So it's trouble in paradise. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, I don't like how he was able to read her text message of what she said in response to what he said. But we never got what he said to her until the reunion. Why was he protected? Like, that bothered me because it's her show. Like, he's on it because of her. So to protect him and make him look a certain way and not the cast member that we're focusing, I don't know. It was just weird that they protected him. Anyway, when we got the backstory of what he said to her, I was just like, what? I don't know if you guys should be getting married if y'all talking to each other like that. Like, even when you're upset with your partner, because you love them, you find a way to say it. You know what I mean? Like, don't let this show go to your head because you ain't nothing. And like, what the? Y'all argue like that? Y'all about to get married? Like, this is... And then that text message that she sent to him, I was like, your arguments are ugly. And not saying that couples don't get into arguments like that, but they go deep and cut deep with their words. And, you know, she was always threatening divorce throughout the whole season. Candice, I don't think you should do it. It seems like, from what we're getting, it just seems like a recipe for disaster. Because I'm telling you, marriage magnifies problems. Issues that you had when you thought you could deal with when y'all were just dating, when you get married, for some reason, I don't know what happens. I don't know if a marriage angel just jumps into the marriage and just moves everything around and kicks up the dust of issues that have been lying dormant. I don't know what happens, but things get magnified, and she's already feeling some way about him and his kids. And even Giselle is telling her to talk to the ex-wife. I wouldn't, because that situation is tense. And I feel like Candice going to get bopped in that forehead by that ex-wife if she tries to, you know, get involved in that situation with him and his kids and talking to her before she marry him. Don't even go that deep, because if you do, you definitely won't get married to Chris, because I feel like she's going to tell her some stuff about herself and her man that she's not going to like. It's just going to be cause drama. Girl, if you want to do it, do it. But I don't listen to Robyn. Y'all keep on calling her First Lady Robyn and saying that she's giving great advice. Word on the street is she don't. Okay? From parishioners. Is that what they call them? I've been out of church so long. Pray for me. I can't find a church in LA. LA church is weird. It's very, very weird. It always feels like work to me. So I've been looking. Like, I want to go to a church, but it ain't happening yet. I still go to my church back home online. But I would like, a community, but it's not going to happen. So I'm trying to be optimistic, but I've been out here for years. I haven't found one yet. I don't think I'm gonna find a home base anytime soon. So it is what it is. Keep me in your prayers and take me to the king. Come on, Robyn. Hey, give me my chicken wing. Who made up that remix? Oh, we're seeing the brown dick. Andy is so nasty. I don't think he was joking. Andy wanted to see that. How weird. And then Monique, don't nobody want to see no disc mismatch. We don't. Well, go ahead on, Pageant Patty. Pageant Patty has a national title. Where's yours? Let me tell you something. Candice came ready. She came ready. Ashley, who's always able to get with people at the reunion, could not get with Candice. Every snide and nasty comment that Ashley had, Candice was ready. Locked and loaded, like slaughtered her. Ashley couldn't come back from anything. She was like, oh, I don't want to argue about this. No, you call her Pageant Patty and she was ready for you. Everything that Ashley said, Candice came and just murdered the chick. She wasn't ready. And that, for me, was a damn good reason to bring her back next season. I was just like, if you gonna read these broads like this and don't get off their neck, I'm good. I'll take that, because I just felt like the Creole Clique was just dominating and everybody was retreating and crying. I'm like, get these broads together. Now, if we can come with something like that, y'all got me. I'm invested in another season. And then we get the TV production of it all, because, Candice talks about how Ashley is invited to her wedding, and Giselle is just like, well, I'm not invited. Giselle, you're not coming. You're not coming to Candice's wedding. It's not happening. But by Candice standards, but if production is paying for this wedding, and I guarantee you they are, Giselle, the whole cast is going to come. But what I want to talk about in the whole production thing is, like, they're going at each other just dogmatic. And then, like, Ashley drops this bomb that she got an invite and she's going to her wedding. And they're just like, oh, we're sisters. This is how we go at each other. I'm like, absolutely not. They're not sisters. They're not friends. They're co-workers. And if Candice is going to go through with this wedding, production is going to pay for it. So they have control over the guest list. She has some say-so, but they got control. And Ashley is going to be the one to come. Why? Because Ashley is going to drag that wedding from top to bottom. She's going to give good confessional sound bites. It's going to be good mess throughout the season. That is why Ashley solidified her invite to that wedding. No other reason. Candice did not willingly invite her. They have not been cool for a very long time. Candice has been dragging Ashley on Twitter and in her blogs episodes ago, okay? A dozen episodes ago. How many do we have at this point? She's been dragging her for a really long time, so I don't think they're friends, but that's how it is. Like, a lot of these women aren't friends, but they're contractually obligated to film together and force some kind of friendship. And it's unfortunate, because I think they started out as really good friends. They all have a lot of history. Robyn and Karen have a lot of history. Giselle and Karen have a lot of history. I don't think their relationship can go back to being the same, because Giselle is just, real talk, she's doing everything for show. Like, she's awful. She's awful. You know what I mean? But I do feel like she's putting it on for the show, right? And I think she wants Karen to understand, this is entertainment, this is our job. I'm really your friend. I really, really do love you. But Karen is just like, that's not how we roll. Like, if we're friends outside of the show, we're friends on the show. So I think that's where the miscommunication is happening with them, because Giselle is just getting good camera time, good storyline, just trying to find something, because she really doesn't have anything interesting. So she's starting to pop with everybody else, but she did it at a time to somebody who was really close to her, who was going through hell. And she didn't have the wherewithal, the first lady didn't have the wherewithal to back up off this woman. And I feel like she kind of damaged a really good friendship. And I don't know if they can come back from that. I really, really don't know, because this is a trying time for Karen. And Giselle has made it horrible for her. Even more, you know, so... So then Slim Tamala Man brings up this whole, like, fan page thing. I'm glad Monique finally owned up to it and just was like, I'm sorry, my brother did it. And just moved on so she could shut up. Because I also felt like Robyn had really weak storylines as well. The most interesting thing was the medium. Because it got like a real reaction out of her and Juan, but Robyn is just so dry and slow. It's just like, girl, wake up. Like, it's, I don't know. I would have wanted more from her than just being Giselle's guard dog. And then she got mad when the ladies mentioned it, but sweetie, you are. The proof is in the pudding. We have receipts of an entire season and a reunion. You protect this woman at all costs, and she does not do the same for you. She doesn't. Giselle is a great friend to Giselle. She is her only priority. And Robyn doesn't realize that. I think Karen is starting to get hip to it, but Robyn doesn't realize that. Ashley don't care either way. She just wants partners in her mess. Ashley is all show. She is all show. She knows this is her only source of income right now. So she is making it work, and she is trying to get the biggest check, because I guarantee you that woman is preparing an out, because that decomposing husband can't hold her much longer. And I think he realizes that, so he's making his own little changes as well. But listen, I cannot wait for next week when Karen calls him a weirdo and he starts that crying. Listen, I want to know what is behind those tears. Okay. So then we get to the part of the reunion where Karen starts breaking down, and Giselle, the HNIC of the demonic Creole Clique, tries to like comfort Karen, like, oh no, we weren't being awful to you. No, you're my friend. I just want to understand what you were doing. Giselle, you were not being a friend to her. You brought that shirt to humiliate her. And even Karen mentioned that. She said they were just trying to humiliate me the whole season, and they knew what I was going through. That's the thing that got me, and I think got Andy and everybody else on that stage. She said they knew what I was going through, and they still were awful. They still wanted to humiliate me. And I'm not saying that Karen deserves a pass for her poor behavior on previous seasons. I'm just saying the girl lost both her parents within the same year. Y'all could have just gave her a break. They could have. And then when she breaks down and Giselle goes running back to her, I'm like, what? I didn't get it. I'm like, you are the cause of the breakdown. Why are you running back there? And I don't know why any of the other women except for Monique stayed on that couch. Like, y'all could have ran after her as well. You know, Ashley should have stayed on the couch, and Slim Tamala Man should have stayed. But Candice, she's been great to you. I don't know why Candice sat there. And is Sharice going to come out? They don't show her at all, so I don't know what's going on there. But she was a huge part of the season. We need to talk to her as well. Anyway, that's where it ends. Next week is going to be the juicy part of the reunion. So I will be there bright and early. My goal is to get it up to you guys that night. Not sure. I'm going to try my best. This review and Insecure, I want to get them both up that night. I'm going to try. Don't hold me to it, but pray my strength in the Lord. Love you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next week for the following and the final, the finale, the closer finale. The part 2 of this reunion. I'm tired. The season finale, part 2. See y'all next week. Love you.